Hey family, thanks so much for joining me. So I wanted to bring another video. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. This is a timeless reading. You could also use this as a manifestation reading. All you need to do is claim this energy as your own. Um, if you'd like to work with me on spiritual advice, twin flame stuff, um, astrology readings, and more, my information is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to book a free consult with me, my Calendly link is in the description below. Um, Also, I might have already said this before, but I get my information from God and from the Holy Spirit. I don't use any cards or anything. Keep in mind that we have masculine and feminine energies in our bodies. So, um, masculine can be feminine, feminine can be masculine. Just use those terms as they make sense in your situation. All right, y'all, so let me get into it. So, for some of you, you have a former masculine that's returning for you. And for some of you, may be traveling. For some of you, they may be traveling to you. Um, but one of the things that you're focused on the most is, do you feel loved? Do you feel like you could see a future with this person? Do you feel like in your future, if you can see a future with them, is it happy? Will you feel good? Will you feel like, you know, you'll give them everything they want? They'll give you everything that you want because you feel like you don't want to get lost in this. You don't want to lose yourself in this. You don't want it to be that you're so in love with the person that you're not seeing the truth about who they are. And I think for some masculines, because of the way that they were taught to interact with each other, with women, and with themselves even, I feel like sometimes they struggle to really understand how to show you that you are loved and it's not their fault. And I think there's such huge fear around this thing of affection and attention and love and, you know, all this intimacy that it sometimes doesn't leave room for the person to really show love. Um, and it also depends on the way that the person thinks about the world, their self, you, other men, love, other masculines, I should say. But I feel like it's it's unfortunate, but I feel like a lot of men are at a disadvantage because they weren't really encouraged to show, you know, love or express love or, you know, express themselves or speak about love or whatever it is. And I feel like some people are at a disadvantage because no one ever told them the truth about who they were and, like, you know, whether they were good at expressing love or not. Because, and I know, like, for some of you collective, you have a masculine who is very um well known. They could be a celebrity, they could be very wealthy, well off, rich, whatever, could be very well traveled, could be very intelligent in a lot of ways, but maybe not emotionally intelligent. And knowing that, I feel like they meet others who are, and they're like, well, dang, I mean, these people out here working with some tools, but for them, maybe they're not. Maybe their tools are not that good when it comes to emotional intelligence. Like maybe they don't have the emotional intelligence they want, um, or that they know they desire or whatever need to interact with people. But I feel like for some of you, again, you have this returning masculine, and they're truly saying, I know it's cliche, but they're truly saying, like, no, teach me how to love you, to show you that you're cared for. Like you say love language, but I'm like, how do I speak your love language so that you feel loved? And I think you need, not only do you need a person who's open to listening, but also taking action, really understanding and taking action on whatever it is that you told them so that you could feel loved, swallowing their pride, not letting their ego get in the way, getting over themselves and all this stuff. And I think it can be such a challenge for some people because they don't know how to do it. And I think some of them are also not going to let you teach them. For others that are like, they might be missing a part of this. So we could think about it like um, a production or a book. There are chapters or a play or whatever it is. You could think about it like they have the first part down or they have the second part down, or maybe they have, different parts, the schmexual part down, let's say, but they don't have the expression, they don't have the verbal part of it, they don't have, the other physical intimacy, they don't have the holding, the hugging, there are parts that they are missing in the equation. And that's the thing that interferes with them being able to really show you that you're loved. So I think for some of you collective, it is important to just be patient with the masculines you're working with, to be, or feminine, switch it as it makes sense. But it's important for you to be patient. It's important for you to also be loving because you're also leading in a lot of ways in that emotional area and love area and affection and attention and intimacy and all that stuff. And you are really opening them up and teaching them how to love you. And when it happens, they're open, they're like, okay, I'm open, I'm into it. Then it's important for you to help them to understand and really stick with it, to, to show them that this is the area that works, this is the area that you probably need improvements on. So, for example, you might be giving feedback and saying, no, this is good. I really love this part, this part you could work on. But then they know they're getting rewarded for their efforts. They're getting rewarded for actually doing things right. They're getting kind feedback, I would say. And no one's trying to hurt them. They know they're in a safe place. And yeah, all those things are really important, I would say. It can be tough sometimes because you are thinking, okay, I want XYZ to happen, and they're like, when you interact with them, they're like, okay, I can get like half of X. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I'll work with you on it. But I do feel like it's important to be in a safe space when you're developing, you're growing emotionally and learning to develop emotional intelligence. Um, I I believe that um, it just takes time for some people, but it is important. Getting back to it, so for you to hold space and create a safe space for them to be able to develop emotionally, if you're going to be with someone who is not that great at emotional intelligence and they're growing. So you might have a masculine that's, you know, needing to grow and develop in that area. And they need you to be patient with them, loving, gentle, kind, all those things that you could be in your feminine energy so that they can come along in that area and they can actually grow and develop, blossom and all that stuff. Um, it's not your responsibility. Like, you don't have to take on the responsibility. That's not what I'm saying. 11:11 on the clock. So someone's twin flame is here, or they've been here, they might be coming in, but it is important. And I think, of course, twin flames, because they're so in love with each other, because they're so committed, they're so smitten with each other, they are um, in a great position to be able to grow, develop more quickly, to be able to develop more skills, more abilities, more gifts, and all this stuff, more power in certain areas. So, um, again, just be patient. If you're going to stay with the masculine, the masculine. If you're not, you're not. If you are, just be patient. Make sure that you're creating a safe place for them, that you're not trying to hurt them, and they know that from the beginning, and as soon as possible, if you're not going to be staying with them, that they know that, because no one wants to open up to someone and then get cut off. So it is good to let them know where you are, what you're planning on doing, but creating a safe space, being gentle, being kind, being loving, opening up the space for them to be able to do those things. But you're truly teaching some masculines um, how to really love you, so that you can, it can help you to feel loved. I'll say it like that. All right, y'all. I didn't want to make the video too long. Um, of course, continue to glow up, continue to watch, re-listen to things that will lift you up, continue to work on surrounding yourself with people that want everyone to win, continue to work on growing your spiritual powers, gifts, abilities, continue to work on surrounding yourself with energy that will lift everyone up. As always, happy lightning fast manifesting, and I'm gonna talk to y'all again soon. All right, love y'all. Bye for now.